Hello and welcome back to the Dune Minute Podcast, your place to dive deep, minute by minute, into the cinematic adaptation of Frank Herbert's Dune. I'm one of your hosts, Zach.
And I'm John.
Welcome back, John. We've been away for a little bit.
We have.
I got laser shot in my eye.
I was trying to remember why we didn't record last weekend, and it's because you had lasers in your eye.
I did. I had lasers shot into my eyes, and by the miracle of science, I can see.
Zap.
I am no longer a glassesman. I can see clearly now.
The rain is not gone. It's gross outside, and it's
I physically bit my tongue, so I didn't make that joke.
Nope, I'm going there. I'm going there. It is gross today outside, and we're in here talking about some Dune today. We are talking about Dune.
We got a whole heck of a set of minutes to talk about, man.
We do, yes.
Let's dive right into it. So we are talking about minutes 70 through 71, and it begins with Paul telling us that he had a vision, and then it ends with us seeing said vision.
How apt.
I mean, that's quite literally what it is.
Yep. Just to remind everyone, last week we led off with Dr. Yue giving the all clear to Jessica and to Paul, saying that, while spice is a psychoactive drug, he doesn't necessarily think that Paul is allergic to it. And then Dr. Yue leaves, and Paul's like, yeah, it definitely wasn't an allergy. I had a vision. It's kind of a strange vision. And by kind of a strange vision, I mean a very strange vision, actually. The movie, as a lot of movies do, does a good job of letting us know what's real and what isn't by giving us sepia-toned everything.
Like any movie shot in Mexico, it is just, or that takes place in Mexico.
Everything is just sepia-toned.
Yep, exactly.
Is Arrakis the Mexico of the Imperium?
Probably not. It's probably closer to the Middle East, but I don't know. Maybe.
Hollywood also sepia tones Middle Eastern scenes.
That's very true. Very true.
They like to do that. Paul says to his mom, he's like, I had a vision. My eyes were wide open. And Jessica's just, what did you see? I think before we start talking more about the vision, we need to establish a timeline of Pauls, because we have 3 different Pauls here. We have we have bedroom Paul,
my favorite Paul.
We have Walker Paul, and we have Vision Paul.
Got Paul Walker in here?
No, not Paul Walker. He's dead. Walker Paul.
Okay.
Yeah. It's actually Paul Atreides, but in Walker Texas Rangers outfit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was...
Or it's Chuck Norris in a still suit.
2 sand, 2 crawler. That was dumb.
Live my life one spice field at a time.
Family.
Yeah, they do have that in common. Family.
They do have that in common.
They do.
So... After Jessica asked what he saw, we cut back to Paul in the desert, right when he took his mask off, and he got hit by that big spice blow, or not a spice blow, but like this big dust cloud, full of spice.
I don't think he took his mask off. I just don't think he had time to get it on, and the dust cloud just enveloped him. I don't think he was like, let me just fucking huff this cloud of spice. Or maybe,
because we
all smoked weed as teenagers, so.
I didn't actually.
Oh, fucking loser.
I'm sorry. I know you're right, but I didn't.
Zach's a fucking square.
I didn't run in those circles in high school, so.
You were a band kid. Of course you ran in those circles.
Well, they were not sharing with me, so. I was also like section leader of band stuff. So I don't know. It was like,
oh, so you're a narc.
Maybe they perceived me that way. I don't know.
I mean, you do kind of carry narc energy with you.
I did work for the police for a little, or the sheriff for a little while. Yeah. No, not a narc. BNE though, big narc energy.
Breaking and entering? No. Big narc energy. Zach's not a narc.
So, I mean, but we did see Paul with his mask off when Gurney went and grabbed him.
Yeah, because like I said, he didn't have time to get it on. Because remember when they were out of the ornithopter,
right?
Paul
Right,
was yelling at everyone.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
So this is his vision. Then this is not real life Paul that we saw a couple minutes ago. This is the vision.
Well, so this is Walker Paul. So okay, so bedroom Paul, we know what that is. Walker Paul is going back in time to that moment where he gets enveloped, but he's not in the vision. Yeah, Vision Paul.
The Walker Paul's events that we actually saw on screen.
Correct.
Got it.
Vision Paul, and I wish I had a modicum of like video editing skill, so I could take what we see a couple minutes before and
match it up, like line it
vision and line it up and see like how they interact with each other, or if they line up at all. If
I cared more, I would do that. But I'm not going to do that.
I don't have the skill set for it.
I do, but I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. But Vision Paul is different because Vision Paul, while he's still wearing a still suit, has like a little shitty shawl thing over it. But then he also has the moisture collector in his nose, whereas the still suit that he wore when they went out to
he wasn't wearing
the ornithopter, they had like a full mask.
Right.
Rather than just the nose thing. Which leads me to another question.
Nose tubes are the tell then. If you see nose tubes, that means we are in vision.
Nose tubes is vision, also sepia toned like crazy.
Yeah.
But that leads me to a question that I had for you.
Okay.
Does the encyclopedia or the book specify anything about the nose tube versus the full mask? Or is it just kind of
they only mention nose tubes. Like the mask is something that the movies came up and there's like hoods and stuff. But as far as I know, as far as I've read, the only thing that's mentioned is that like the nose tube to
collect. I feel like I've seen a mask though in the encyclopedia when you showed it to me because it had like a mask with just a straw coming out of it on the inside.
Do you want to do you want to pause for fact check?
Yes.
Okay. All right, we're back. So after that brief research session, the encyclopedia does have a picture of what they described or what they depicted the still suits like. It looks like you said a lab clean,
like a clean room suit. Yeah, it's very not detailed like the ones that we have in the movie. But even the Lynch movie ones were more detailed than that.
Well, the Lynch movie ones didn't have a face mask either. They just had the nose tubes.
They just had the nose tubes. Yeah.
So that's the only part that is confirmed to be book accurate.
Hey, we'll take it.
Yep.
So yeah, we just we're still in this like dream sequence, the vision.
Got spice floating through the air.
Spice is just all around Paul. We hear that same line from last week where it's Kwisatz Haderach, but this time we get "You Can See" added into that with all the mystical voices. We talked about it a little bit last week as well. Our theory that it's the voices of all of his ancestors, or at least the women ancestors on his side, because Bene Gesserit.
That's what they do.
Everything, yeah. We get to hear the voices, I think, a little more clearly this week.
Yeah.
And it's definitely like 6 or 7 voices all layered on top of each other.
Yep. So. We kind of pan over to see a robed figure walking through the desert.
Who is it but Chani?
It's Chani.
And this is our first time. Well,
it's our first time seeing her full face.
No, that's not true. We see her full face, and I think it's minute 2 or minute 3, right at the very beginning of the movie.
Do we?
Yes.
Okay.
Because we see Jameis with the gun. We see Chani. She's got like some kind of helmet or like head cover on, but we definitely see her full face.
Oh, okay.
Because she's got that like scowl and anger at the Harkonnens
I don't know why
going on.
In my head, I thought she had like I thought she had the mask up.
No.
Then okay.
But this is our first time that we see Chani for more than like a second
Right.
at a time.
Right.
Like this is the first vision or the first moment of Paul's prescience that we have, that it's like, this is like for real happening. This isn't just like little snippets here and there,
Yeah.
you know, and makes sense because this is his first time being just like hugely exposed to
Yep.
spice.
Yep.
We had that theory last week about how Jessica had been like microdosing him
Sure. Sure.
with spice and everything.
Still not confirmed, but I like the theory.
It's good headcanon, I think,
Yeah.
though. Like,
Yeah, it would make sense that he'd have some.
yeah.
So Chani leads Paul into this canyon, the same canyon that we saw from past visions.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting their day's worth of shooting, getting the most out of their day's worth of shooting here.
What's crazy is you go and you look at the extras that are available on Apple TV for this movie, and you see just how many people are on the crew that they have to move in and out of these canyons and shit.
It's crazy.
It's like, I think they said it's like 70 people for those shots.
Did they give a location for that?
It's somewhere in Jordan.
Oh, okay. It looked a lot like Antelope Canyon out in, I think,
Out in,
I think
where's
Utah.
it, Utah?
I think it's in Utah.
If you live in Utah,
Let
tell us if
know.
we're wrong.
Yeah, but that's just what it looked like to me. I mean, it would make sense that it's in Jordan because that's where most of the other desert stuff was shot.
So I think the wide open desert shots were more like Saudi Arabia, and then the desert caves and Arakeen were Jordan, but I could be wrong on that.
Okay.
I know that they're shot in both locations. More in Saudi Arabia for part 2, but they were also in Jordan for part 2 as well. So either way, it's not some film studio lot or whatever where they just kind of
It's not like
made it up. It's natural formations, which is cool.
It's not a Star Trek caves
No
concept where they just built one
Nothing
set.
is made of styrofoam here.
They built one set, lit it different, and hung other shit from the wall for like 40 episodes. Yeah, so she's leading Paul into this canyon. We get those voices, and as you said earlier, we see Kwisatz, or we hear Kwisatz Haderach. You can see.
Yep.
And yeah, then it cuts back to Chani and Paul getting real close to each other.
Mm-hmm. And
Now, I have a proposal. So as this movie goes forward, I guess more for the next movie, but I want us to be prepared.
okay.
We're going to be saying Chani and Paul a lot.
Yeah.
I think we should introduce some kind of portmanteau to this.
Okay.
And the two options that I have, we have Chawl or Pani. My vote's for Chawl.
I hate Chawl. Chawl and Pani.
No, that defeats the purpose. It's got to be one or the other.
No.
Well, I'm going to refer to him as Chawl.
God
I
damn.
think you'll get on board eventually. You'll come around.
I'm going to start typing Chawl in my notes now.
I know you will. I know you will.
Though right now it's just PA and C.
Oh, no. See, that's too much.
PA/C?
That's too much, man.
Nah.
Chawl just rolls off the fingers.
Yeah, actually it does.
Yeah, it does.
Well, all right. How do you spell it? CHAUL or CHAL?
Chaul.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
It's pretty-
that'd be like a second.
All right. Well, it is confirmed.
Anyways.
Chawl. We cut back to Chawl getting real close to each other.
Yeah,
And
that's
that's where
where our minute ends.
Yeah.
The one thing that I just kind of noticed through this too, and like we'll see it more in the other minutes coming up. The sepia tone really makes whatever effects they did with the eyes of Ibad like pop even more.
Yeah.
Because Chinese eyes here are like blue.
I'm telling you, this is a classic Hollywood theme, orange and blue. I know it's not technically orange, but it's in the orange sphere.
I was
Orange
gonna
and
say,
blue.
I feel like that's just color theory. That's not.
Yeah, I mean they're complementary colors to each other. So, but Hollywood loves using that combo
Yeah.
for things.
Just go watch Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind for.
I was gonna say any Marvel movie.
Yeah.
They use orange and blue a lot.
Yeah.
Early ones they did.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll be honest. I kind of fell off the Marvel train after Infinity War. I feel like most people did.
I didn't start. I had never seen one other than like Iron Man until we were in pandemic times. And I decided, hey, let's give them a go. Let's see what all this hype's about. And I watched all of them.
Because what the fuck else are you going to do?
Right, exactly. Yeah. And I regret it. I feel like it's time I'm not getting back.
You could have been watching Star Trek that whole time.
I could have been watching Star Trek that whole time.
Or the 84 Lynch Dune.
I did do that still. Don't care for them. Please don't email me. They're great movies if you like them. Not for me. So before we wrap this up, I want to give kind of a book reference point.
Yeah, because we started doing that last week with like what's happening in the books.
Yeah. Now this is going to be the same thing that I say today will be something that you hear tomorrow and on Wednesday and the next episode, whatever.
This isn't in the book.
Well, it is. It is in the book, but this is a paraphrasing of Paul's later vision that he gets. Mm-hmm. So last week I talked about the, like he gets his like massive spice dose later in the books when they're out in the desert and Jessica and Paul are like camping out in the desert. Yeah. So this is all stuff that happens, loosely adapted from stuff that happens later in the book.
Yeah.
And that's going to be
still get that here in the movie later on.
We do. Yeah. So they took bits and pieces of that big vision, moved it up front here right now. We get the rest of it later on. So they kind of split it up just to show us, what is happening with Paul and to expedite the story a little bit.
Sure.
So not a bad decision whatsoever. They just, split up a big event into, two slightly smaller events.
I like it though, from like a movie storytelling standpoint. Like you have to have, highs and lows.
Sure.
Right. Sure. You can't just be, low, and then up to, turn it up to 11 for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
And no, you got to have.
It's good script writing. I mean, it's
ebb and flow.
Yeah, exactly.
Make it work for the big screen.
Yeah. So yeah, my book notes are going to be pretty much the same for the next couple of days. Okay. I'll still say them. I'll still, drop little bits in, but just so you know, it's kind of what we're seeing right now.
Kind of what we're dealing with. All right.
Yep.
Cool. Well, that's it for this minute. If you'd like to reach out to us, you can. We are on Twitter @Dune Minute. We are also on Instagram @The Dune Minute. And we are also available by email, duneminute@gmail.com. You have anything else, Zach?
No, that's it for me, man.
Alrighty. Well, that's for today's episode. Come back tomorrow. We're going to keep on talking about Paul tripping balls.
That's right. All right. See you then.